and thanks for joining. Tonight's video is going to be about how you can help a hoarder. So in my past videos I've talked about how a hoarder can help themselves, and this video is going to be for those who have come here looking for how they can help their friend or family member who is a hoarder. And so let's get into that. This is going to be a little bit of a tangled mess here, so we're going to go right through it. Hopefully it makes sense. I'm going to try to not to be too harsh about this, but I am going to be realistic and give it to you straight. So the first thing you need to know is that nobody can change anybody else. So you're not going to be able to change your friend or family member until they're ready to change. So until that person in your life who has hoarding tendencies or cleaning avoidance wants to change, you're not going to be able to make them change. So the guilt trips or the judgmental attitude, it's not going to help. It's only going to damage your relationship. So if you're doing that, please stop. The second thing I wanted to tell you is that if a hoarder is ready to change, the thing that you could do that could best help them is to get them either to a therapist or get them to videos like my first video talking about EMDR and hoarding and how you can use EMDR to cure your hoarding tendencies. That's really going to be the best help for them. Do not go into their home and start cleaning for them. I know you probably want to because you want to see their home clean. You want their environment to be good for them. You care about them, but that's not going to help. First of all, unless they've asked you or consented to your help, they're going to be upset. And rightly so, because going into someone else's home and cleaning without their consent is a boundary violation. And you've most likely damaged that relationship and hopefully not beyond repair, because it can happen. That is a huge boundary violation. So do not clean for them. It's a different story if they ask for help. You can go ahead and help if you feel inclined to do so. But if you don't, it's okay if you say, I can't help you with this. The other thing I wanted to tell you about too is that a hoarder's home is kind of off bounds to a lot of people. So don't feel bad if they don't invite you over or don't invite you in. That is their space. A lot of times it's where they hide from the world. And so not only that, they probably feel a lot of guilt and shame, anxiety, fear, and anger around anybody coming into their home. So do not try to find a way in or push your way in. Do not say, oh, my home is messy too. I understand. Because you don't. Unless you've been living with, unvacuumed floors for like a year, or clutter that's just piled up for 6 months or more. You don't. Your idea of messy is probably something more akin to not vacuuming for a week or not picking up clutter for a couple of days. And so saying that you understand to try to work your way into their home is going to backfire, unfortunately. So if they invite you in though, what you need to do is reserve your reactions and do not pass judgment. You just want to walk in and observe, and if you can, try to make it seem like this is okay, this is normal, they don't have anything to fear from letting you into their home. They want to feel like they can trust you, and that is part of what they're doing by letting you in. So even though in your head you might be having some reactions and judgments, and maybe that's fair, but out loud you don't want to do anything that's going to make them think that they cannot trust you. So although it's going to be hard, Try not to mention how messy it is. Try not to be shocked, especially if somebody's been hoarding for a long time. They might have quite a bit accumulated, so try to reserve the reaction. If you do need to talk about it, which it might be a good time to do that, try to make it about you and not about them and not about the stuff. So if you walk into somebody's home and it's full of stuff and you can barely walk, what it would be better to say than, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff, how can you live like this? What you should say instead is, you know, I feel really anxious in this environment. I feel really closed in, and I would prefer if we could meet somewhere else. Do you mind if we go somewhere else right now? And what you're telling them is that it's not about them or their stuff, it's about you and needing to not be in that situation, not be in that environment. And on top of that, you're establishing a boundary of, if your home is like this, I cannot visit you until it's not like this. And that's a fair boundary to make. It's fair to say, this place gives me anxiety with all of its stuff and I cannot be here. That's fair. So if you do have to say something, make sure you are speaking about yourself and not about them or the stuff. And so with that, I just wanted to kind of end this by saying again that you can't change anyone. They have to want to change themselves, and just be patient and compassionate, but not comparing your problems with their problems. And that's just good advice overall, not to compare what you're going through with what someone else is going through unless it is exactly the same situation. And then just be there for them. Just, you know, when they are ready for help, just be there, just support them, and be their cheerleader. It would be nice if I could talk sometimes. Jeez. Just be their cheerleader and help them along. And hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and let me know. And I hope you have a great night.